Every night I drugged myself. I slipped the powder into all my tea and even into my bathwater. I kept at it until I finally got what I wanted, lured the great general into my room, and 9 months later, gave birth to twins. Congratulations, host. Childbirth mission complete. You've earned your freedom reward. But after finishing the system's mission, I left my son behind and took off with only my daughter. I mean, we had a deal. Once I gave birth, I was free. But just when I was ready to hit the road with my baby, I realized this world was a war zone. People were homeless, starving, barely getting by. The one upside? My childbirth system could also treat infertility. Every successful case earned me points to unlock new abilities. So I set up a clinic at the border, made money while raising my daughter, and waited for the chaos to die down so I could finally travel like I'd planned. 4 years flew by without me even noticing. Just when I thought things had finally settled, a very strange patient walked through my door. Doctor, I came all the way from Dan County just to see you. Been married 7 years now and my belly still won't cooperate, but I still get my period every month. The second I checked her pulse, I knew something wasn't right. Ma'am, you can leave now. If you're not going to be honest with me, there's nothing I can do for you. But she planted her hands on her hips and went off. Unbelievable. What a stuck-up doctor. You take one look at how I'm dressed and try to kick me out? I'm already here, so you better tell me exactly what's wrong. I cut straight to it. You were born without a uterus. There's no way you've ever had a period. But weirdly enough, after she heard my diagnosis, she lit up and called out to someone outside. Lord Shen, this small-town doctor actually knows her stuff. The moment I heard the name Lord Shen, my stomach dropped. The original owner of my body was also a girl from an official Shen family. What if these people were the Shens? And of course, my worst fear came true. My original body's older brother, Shen Yiwen, recognized me. He'd come to find someone to treat a relative's infertility, but instead stumbled upon the sister he'd lost for years. He didn't even hesitate. He was taking me home. Since going back to the capital was unavoidable, I had to look on the bright side. The war was over. The new emperor of Northern Li now ruled the capital. The Shen family had been his most trusted allies before he took the throne. With a family like that behind us, my daughter Zixi's future would be just fine. The one problem was, I'd once tricked General Dingbei into spending a night with me. Now that the war was over, he could easily be living in the capital. Just thinking about those cold, dead eyes of his made the back of my neck crawl. I could not let him find out who I really was. What I didn't know was that my history with him was far from over. After months on the road, our carriage finally pulled up to the Shen estate in the capital. Just as I was dreading whether they'd even accept me and my child, I saw my mother, Madame Qiao, standing there with tears streaming down her face. She was the head wife of the Shen family, and she'd been waiting at the gate this whole time. The look in her eyes was full of love and regret. For some reason, my own eyes started to sting. Shen Yiwen stepped in and said, "Mother, this is fifth sister, and this is her daughter, Zixi." Madame Qiao froze. Shen Yiwen's letter had only said he'd found me. He never mentioned I was already married with a kid. Meanwhile, a crowd was starting to gather. Yiwen quickly jumped in. "Mother, let's head inside first and catch up in there." My mother looked at me, the daughter she'd finally gotten back. Her throat was tight, but her voice was steady as a rock as she reached out and took my hand. But the moment she got me inside the main hall, she asked where my husband was. I'd seen that question coming, so I let out a slow sigh. Ever since Zixi was born, her dad's been stationed up north at the border. I've had zero contact with him since. He's probably forgotten about us by now. But to my surprise, my mother's face went stone cold. Then she said, "He's dead." My eyes went wide. My mother never wasted time when she made up her mind. She'd already handled it. Even if he was still alive and came looking for me, he was just a border soldier. The Shen family could deal with him easily. Worried I might still be holding on, she kept pushing me. "Let it go. All of it. You have to keep moving forward. Don't throw away the best years of your life over a man like that." I nodded hard, trying not to look too relieved. I really liked this no-nonsense mother of mine. Right then, a maid knocked at the door. "Miss, the old madam's awake. She's asking for all of you." By the time we got to old Madame Shen's room to pay our respects, the place was already full of people. But the moment I locked eyes with Shen Qingyuan, the second branch's legitimate daughter, I could feel the contempt rolling off her. The old madam looked over at me, waved me closer, and said, "So you're fifth girl? Come here, let me get a good look at you." I walked right up, picked up the cushion lying nearby, and tucked it behind her back. "Grandmother, this'll make you a lot more comfortable." The old madam looked at my face and smiled. This child is not only pretty, she's thoughtful and well-mannered. Her whole vibe reminds me of Ronghua. And that's when things got weird. The second everyone in the room heard the name Ronghua, their faces shifted. The smile on the second madam's face went stiff. Shen Qingyuan's eyes went sharp, like she was staring daggers right at me. Madame Qiao kept her face neutral, but inside she was thrown off too. Shen Ronghua was the old madam's only daughter. She'd married the Marquis of Yong'an as his second wife. But no one expected the Marquis's heir to go that far. He fought his way up on the frontier, became General Dingbei, then during the chaos of war, rallied enough support to storm the capital and crown himself emperor. And just like that, Shen Ronghua became the Empress Dowager. I had no idea about any of this, of course, but when my mother heard the old madam compare me to the Empress Dowager, she visibly stood up straighter. She chimed in, "Mother, it's only natural for a niece to take after her aunt." The second madam nodded along eagerly. "Sister-in-law is absolutely right. Qingyuan has always admired her aunt. She's been practicing the Qingping dance for years now. We're just waiting for the chance to perform it for the Empress Dowager. And just like that, the whole conversation swung back to Shen Qingyuan. Whether that dance was really meant for the Empress Dowager or the Emperor, well, make of that what you will. Either way, the Empress Dowager clearly valued the Shen family. Before dinner, her decree had already arrived at the estate. When she heard I'd been found, she specifically ordered that I come along to greet her. Shen Qingyuan saw me frowning and said with a loaded smile, "Grandmother really does favor fifth sister. Since this is your first time in the palace, you better make a good impression and not embarrass the Shen name." What she didn't realize was that I was frowning for one reason. I was already dreading how bad my knees were going to hurt from all that kneeling. So I just asked, "Fourth sister, how many times do you have to kneel when you go to the palace?" I had no idea that one simple question would stop Shen Qingyuan dead in her tracks. Even after I walked away, she was still trying to figure out what I meant. Was I taking a shot at her? Reminding her that she could only ever see the Empress Dowager, never the Emperor himself? The thought made her clench her fists. Fine. As the older sister, she'd make sure to send her dear little sister a very special gift.